What is up, everyone? It is December 7th, 2022. It's a Wednesday night, and...
You know what that means? That's my dynamite.
There you go. I was thinking fireworks, you know? But light the fuse, bring the boom. It's time to talk about the Dynamite episode tonight. I am your excellent friend, The Brand, along with my very good friend, Big Vito T. What is up, my man?
Dynamite. Dynamite, yeah. Hey, I'm having a good night. How's your night? You having a good night?
Excellent.
Let's do a remembrance. It's Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes.
December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day.
It is my good...
Just want to throw that out there.
It is also my good friend James Reedy's birthday today. Shout out to him.
Oh, shout out James Reedy. Good kid.
pwplanet.com. You know what time it is. On this solemn Pearl Harbor Day, which, man, you got, like, what, 70-something years ago, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
we took care of that.
We took care of it, man.
We took care of that. Hey, you know what? Let's cheer this up by, did you see that Santa and Jesus were in the front row all night?
Yes, and the Jesus guy had some sort of cool sign. I forgot what it was though. I didn't write it down. Did you? It was kind of early on. They showed him.
I only wrote down one sign, and that was I don't remember where it was in the night. But I wrote down one sign. It's in my notes somewhere.
It wasn't the sign that the Jesus guy held, though, huh?
I didn't see who was holding it, but I just wanted to bring up after I brought the mode down with Pearl Harbor. I wanted to bring up that Santa and Jesus were front row all night.
Hey, so yeah, and they had the backstage decorated all nice with a Christmas tree and a little mantle and.
Oh, and I'm here with my Santa hat.
See, there you go.
Just repping that.
Feeling festive,
That's right.
If you would have told me we were going to start the Christmas thing, you should have told me. I would have wore, my elf hat or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, now you can catch up next week. But before we get into this first match, I do want to start off by a little conversation real quick. It's kind of a spoiler for the end of the show because we obviously won't see it by the end. But what do you think about there being the trios title match tonight? They skip a week. They said later in the show, like I said, tiny spoiler thing. Later in the show, they say it's going to be back next week. But you all right with them skipping the night, or you just rather they get it over quick?
I guess that's what they're doing. And I noticed that, well, I don't think any of them are on Rampages, are they?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Rampage is still taped, right? I don't think.
I think for the most part, but like the one that's coming to Portland should be a live one because it's on a Friday.
Okay.
It's going to be a live Rampage and then a Battle for the Belts taping.
Okay. All right.
So, but they're not doing a match there. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So, but
right.
Anyway, what was the question again?
No trios title match. Are you all right with that?
Oh yeah, just being all right with it in general.
Yeah, I mean they skipped a week. You cool with that?
I mean, it gives us a little break.
All right, I'm cool with that.
It's the old, how can we miss you if you never go away, type thing.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I was more looking from we should just get these damn seven matches over with.
For sure.
But taking a week off, I get that. That's
Every
a good
show
way to look
in a
at
row, Dynamite, Rampage, Dynamite, Rampage.
No, they don't wrestle on Rampage. They don't do the matches on Rampage.
Too good for that.
Yeah. It's only an hour. Rampage is only an
Too
hour.
good for that stuff, the Elite
You can't
is.
do a big trios match on on an hour-long show. They take an hour.
There you go. I'd be fine with that.
Just the just the trios match.
I think within
Anyway,
an hour show, sometimes you can do that. Just like one long, I mean, that would be like a 40-minute match, but I mean, with entrances and stuff, you know, it would be like, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
all right.
Now that we're like 6 minutes
Trios
into the
out of the
show,
way. Trios are out of the way. Jesus and Santa's out of the way. All the side stuff's out of the way. Now we can get into the show. All right.
so we get
Let's do
the
this.
Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal.
But first, they mentioned something that I caught on to.
Okay.
Brian is still at the bedside of William Regal.
Yes.
They made sure we knew that.
That he wasn't going to be there tonight because he was still with Regal.
Still at his bedside. Being a good friend to William Regal. I just want to throw that out there.
Yet again, they say that, but we all read all this stuff about Regal leaving, and pretty much even confirmed by Tony Khan, I think, in an interview that just happened.
I read that he was going to be here through the holidays.
Okay, well.
So probably leaving 1st of January.
So
my guess is.
Well, we'll get to the weirdness of all that later. That was very weird, that whole segment.
Yeah.
But we get now, I'm glad this was an actual battle royal with a bunch of guys, because the graphic that they showed last week was just...
like 6 guys.
It was like 6 guys. I'm like...
Yeah.
Could they just not fit enough people into the graphic? Is this 1986? Like... I get a 20-man battle royal. You couldn't show me that. I know that they could put like a bunch of guys on the screen. Why?
I don't know. It's really ridiculous. I was when I first started seeing the guys start coming down, it was Starks, Jungle Boy, Dustin Rhodes. I was like, sweet, those are the first guys they're bringing down here.
And then they
when
showed
Dustin
everybody
Rhodes,
in the ring.
yeah, when
like,
Dustin Rhodes got that, I was like, Orange Cassidy? Wait, what? Where's all... Wait, the North Atlantic champion didn't get an entrance? What? Yeah. I was like, what is going on here?
Just for the live crowd, not
Do you
on
have a
TV.
list of the guys who were there? I'm trying to pull it up. Do you have a list of the guys?
Oh, boy. Okay. Participants were Jungle Boy, Ricky Starks, Dustin Rhodes, Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty, Orange Cassidy, Kip Sabian, Matt Hardy, The Butcher, Sean Dean, Dalton Castle, and Brian Cage.
All right.
Which, that's not even 20 guys. That's maybe like 12 guys. I don't know. I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 12 people. The 12-man battle royal.
All right, that's good.
It seemed like there was more dudes.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Now I got a question for you.
Okay.
Dalton Castle, did he bite Matt Hardy's stomach, or was he doing the raspberries thing that we do to babies?
You know, I'm not too sure about that, but the spot right before he got eliminated was really cool, where the boys kept catching him.
I know, I love the boys. They're so funny.
That was really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
But then we had the Brian Cage botch, which I sent to you. I had to like take a little video of it. Yeah.
But then that's why I told you that whole last thing with him and Jungle Boy.
Ooh, that looked brutal, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good spot after a botch. It was good that he went through that whole thing, that apron spot.
Yeah.
What's funny is all those guys were in there, then Orange and Kip were just kicking the shit out of each other, and then eventually got into the match.
Well, and then we see them kind of, they started kind of like a side quest in the middle of that battle royal with each other, which plays out a little bit later.
You notice that the Butcher was in the match, but not the Blade.
Yeah, what's up
You
with
catch
that?
that?
Where's the
I don't
Blade
know.
at?
The Blade was out there.
Where the Blade at?
The Blade was out there. He eliminated Orange Cassidy. He just wasn't in the match.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said he
Yeah.
wasn't there.
No, he wasn't in the match. He was out there,
You trying to
but he
trick me,
wasn't.
Vito? I'm
Yes.
paying attention here.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is the Butcher was in the match, but the Blade was at ringside, not in the match.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I found that to be weird. I automatically go to injury. Like, oh no, what's wrong with the Blade? Uncle
Yeah.
Dave, Uncle Dave, Uncle Dave, tell me what's wrong with the Blade.
Well, okay, so we get the Cassidy Sabian thing. We also have another side deal here with the whole Ethan Page, Matt Hardy story.
That better pay off.
That was also intertwined. Um,
After all this weirdness of doing all that, that better pay off in the end. Those two better have a good match by the end of this.
I
Because
love
Ethan
Matt.
Page and Matt Hardy, I'm not into this. I love Ethan Page a lot, and if this doesn't pay off, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I hate seeing Matt as just a guy, you know?
Yeah,
And that's kind of
Jeff
what he
comes
is
back,
right now.
it'll be better.
Good old Jeff.
You know what I liked? The captain. I like that the captain got some play on Dynamite. Sean Dean. He was not only on TV, but he made it in the Final Four.
Hey, they need to kind of get him around because he's got those victories over MJF. That's a main
Yep.
event for a future Dynamite right there. Him, maybe in an eliminator match or something like that,
Shut
down
up.
the road. Come on, Tony. We want those eliminator matches.
No, we don't.
No, we don't, actually.
Uh,
Please
um,
don't.
I got a question for you though. Do you think, with the way that the ended for old Jackie Boy, do you think we got Morrissey and Jungle Boy thing coming up, or do we have a Moriarty, Lee Moriarty? It's Moriarty. There it is. Lee Moriarty and Jungle Boy thing coming up.
Ooh, that's right, because they did the Morrissey power bombed. Looked like he killed Jungle Boy
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever.
But it almost looked like he did it because Jungle Boy. Did he eliminate Moriarty?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so it
exactly why.
almost looked like he was avenging Moriarty and not that he was like, I hate you, Jungle Boy. That's what
Right,
I'm
but it
wondering.
could still turn into a feud very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering which one it's going to escalate with, whether it's going to be Moriarty or it's going to be not Cass.
Well,
Morrissey.
I think the idea would be both guys. And that would be
And when he gets another tag team partner?
another tag team partner, or he just kind of keeps fighting. Them in like single. He could temporarily team with somebody, but I think a singles match against Moriarty, and then he could do the Morrissey thing too. But I really don't want to see him against a big guy again. You know what I mean?
That's what I was trying to get at. I was
Yeah.
trying to see which guy you'd rather see him against.
I mean, I'd rather see the Moriarty match at this point, but whatever. I mean, they'll both be okay, hopefully.
What's sad is I'd like to see Moriarty and I always want to say Cass Morrissey versus Jurassic Express. I think that would be a good match, and it's a shame that they're no longer.
Well, we haven't seen Christian or Luchasaurus since the pay-per-view.
That's true.
So who knows what their plans are with them.
So it made we knew it was going to come down to Ego and Starks, right?
Exactly.
And do you like his spear? Do you like Stark's spear?
It's cool.
I
looks
I
neat.
like it. I think it's one of my top ones.
It looks
I'm not.
impactful,
Yeah, it looks like he
and
puts a snap onto it.
it's a different approach. It's
Yeah,
like a speed spear and not like a
yeah.
power spear. Is basically the
It's
way
like a
I'd put it.
snap spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Starks goes over. We kind of saw this coming.
No, ego goes over. Stark wins.
Right. See, yeah. There's a difference, right?
Yeah, then the fun starts. Holy crap.
Starks doesn't even get his music. MJF's music hits immediately,
You see Stokely flip him off?
and he comes out. No, I didn't. I didn't catch
It
that.
was on the very corner when MJF was getting ready to go up the stairs. Like Stokely was in the very far corner and just like threw up the bird. It was on the edge. It was so funny.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, we get a decent little MJF promo. Starks' retort was interesting, to say the least, but I thought he did a really good job. I was very worried that this was going to fizzle out, but I think he actually did a pretty good job. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree. My only problem is, do you think that Starks, his persona, is a ripoff of Dwayne?
Was that what MJF was alluding to? Is that like a thing?
He didn't allude to it. He straight up said he called him the Pebble and said he ripped off Dwayne Johnson. Said
Well,
he was
right,
a
right, right, right.
Dollar General
Well,
Dwayne Johnson.
right, but was that like a thing before tonight, though? Is that like a thing that people say about him?
I don't know. That's what I was
You
trying to
know?
figure out. I don't think I mean, I don't see it. Do you see it?
Oh no, I definitely, you think of kind of like a mini rock was kind
Really?
of
I
what
don't really.
was one of my first impressions of Ricky Starks when I saw him. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get that from him.
I mean, fancier, faster, but that's kind of like he reminds me of Young Rock in a smaller rock, but he actually reminds me more of a guy, don't know if you remember, is from the early TNA days, Sonny Siaki.
Hmm. No.
That's who Ricky Starks really reminds me of. Sonny Siaki was really, really good in the early TNA days. Like, everyone thought that he had a huge ceiling, but he ended up quitting wrestling after a few years or whatever.
Oh.
Things kind of fizzled out. Not sure why.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see the whole rock thing for him. That's weird. Huh.
Well, that was one of the big, MJF's big disses for him. Now, when his comebacks, it wasn't like your standard wrestling promo type thing. It was
No.
almost like you would what you would really say to someone, like if you were like talking trash, like out in the street, or like
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Yeah, he was just being mean. It was pretty cool. He was pretty much being MJF. He
But
was just throwing it back at him.
the
Yeah,
reverse version.
yeah. It was pretty cool. I liked it. I'm a
Yeah,
fan of
like I
Ricky
said,
Starks.
I thought it was going to fizzle out. A lot of the times when they just let these guys roll with these promos, they end up going nowhere, but it ended well. Starks just did his thing, and then, MJF kicks him in the nuts, and, that's pretty much, and then he
Now
attacked
he's
him,
two
right?
shot Stark. That's what I was calling him, two shot Stark. He's got a shot at the world title already, right?
This match is
Doesn't?
coming up next week. World
Yeah.
title, also the ring, I
Also,
guess, on
yep.
the line.
Also the ring. So he could leave double champion.
See, there you go.
There you go.
I can't
That
believe this match is already next week. It's crazy. That Winter is Coming show is next week. It just blows my
that
mind.
battle royal went 13:05, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite a long time for a battle royal to go with only 12 guys, I think.
Yeah.
So kudos to the booking squad.
Good job.
um, Moxley pre-tape here.
Hold on. There was something. Um, there was a small thing where Samoa Joe called Darby the little dead boy.
Oh,
That's that's
their
that's
vignette happened
that's
here.
all I wrote down was Darby little dead boy because I don't even think I was looking at the TV because it was right before commercial or right after commercial or something. Excuse me. And all I heard was Darby, you little dead boy, or Darby the little dead boy. And I was like, interesting. Okay, I'll
That
write that down.
that vignette was really good. I wish they would do those for basically all the matches instead of some of the pre-tapes and stuff that they do. I think
Yeah.
those are always put together real well, and that one was really good. Before we completely move on from the Starks thing, Vito, I want to ask you something.
What's that?
So this show was, you remember where this show was at? What town?
No, I can look it up.
I should have it here. But
I mean, I can.
wherever they were, it wasn't Starks' hometown.
Oh yeah, no, they're in Texas, like El Paso or something like that.
Oh, okay, so they were in Texas.
Yeah,
That
it's his adopted hometown.
okay. So he had the support there clearly, and so they made it to where he wins this match. He has that natural pop and also gets the support during his promo because he's there in his like stomping grounds, right?
Yeah,
Now my
yeah,
question for you is, that's great and everything. It comes across great on TV. You make sure that, that the person that you're trying to put over has the great ovation or whatever, right? We saw it with
yeah.
Rosa winning the title, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
Do you think that that's kind of like a mistake, though, like in a way? Because it's like you do that and it comes across huge in that town, but maybe it's not so huge in other towns, kind of a thing. And or
They're at the HEB Center, Cedar Park, Texas. I do kind of agree with that because um, I kind of felt that way a lot when they brought CM Punk back in Chicago.
see, yeah,
Um, uh, that was something that something big like that. You should definitely try on a neutral territory. I get what you're saying there.
I
You
guess
shouldn't.
I guess it really doesn't matter, but I just thought that that was interesting. Like, is it actually a hindrance to them to do that? Just depending on where they're at, because you can't really book for that all the time, but you can. You're going to have people on your roster that are from places, but not necessarily like over at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
I
you
just
you
thought,
don't know if it's organic or not if you're not got them in a neutral place. I see what you're saying. I
right.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, just from a feedback standpoint. Like,
Yeah.
like, yes, this went over, like Tony after tonight, right? He's asking himself, okay, like, did this go over really well because people are really ready for Ricky Starks, or did this go over really well just because we were in, his hometown or what have you?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. He's been pretty over.
no, he
I think
definitely
I
has.
just don't think you're right. I don't know if it would have been as big uh, anywhere else. But
It is what it is.
only time will tell.
Right. I mean, and really all you care about is how it comes across on TV, and you just try to
Yeah.
gain momentum off of that, I guess. better than it being a bad. This crowd was really good as a whole tonight. You could
Yeah,
tell it was more of an
especially in the main
AEW
event.
crowd. Yes. But we get this Moxley promo
Hey,
all night. All night we're
Mox Mox likes to fight cowboys, and he likes fighting cowboys too. He likes fighting them because they're fighting cowboys, and he likes to fight some cowboys.
he
Oh shit!
and he mentions he's going to be at the Final Battle show. We got a bunch of all the
And
last minute Final Battle hype on this show.
and Mox also said something that made my heart flutter.
What's
He
that?
said, after this weekend, maybe there's no more BCC and JAS. We're going to
Oh,
put JAS in the rear view.
doesn't it just make you want to dance?
It does.
Doesn't it make you just want to
Especially
smile?
if next Wednesday there's no BCC and JAS action. If we're back here next Wednesday night after Final Battle and I'm saying, hey, Brand, you know what I noticed tonight? No BCC and JAS action. Then I'll get up and do a little jig. Or I'll make one of the action figures do it. Maybe I'll get Nick Jackson to do a little jig with Kenny.
I won't know what to do with my life anymore. This feud ends. No, I'm just kidding.
What you'll do is you'll hear me complain less about Jazz being up all BCC since March. They've
It'll
been doing
be
this since March.
it'll be so nice. So nice to get past this for sure.
Let's see. It'll be let's see, it'll be 9 months if it ends this Saturday. 9 months.
9 months. Wow.
That's the Vince McMahon feuding right there, baby.
That's a whole pregnancy. You know.
Oh man. Whew. Anyway.
There's some lucky woman out there that's going to tell her child that she watched the Jazz versus the BCC during the whole pregnancy.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
That was the story during the pregnancy, little Quincy, or whatever their
Quincy.
name is. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, then we get the TNT title match. Samoa Joe, Darby Allin.
King of Television, Samoa Joe.
Ooh man, and this was awesome. This was some of the best Joe heel work I think I've ever seen. Really, I mean,
You know what's crazy to me? His most heelish, most vicious looking move that he's done in those past two matches is just moving out of the way.
right? Yeah.
What was his last match? Something happened and he moved out of the way and the guy landed all messed up and he's like, huh. And then he put on the clutch or something like that. And tonight when he moved out of the way and Darby did that, his like crazy cannonball tope cannonballa. That's what I'm calling it.
Ooh, that looked
and
so
and
brutal.
Joe just did whoop, just moved right out of the way with the smirk on his face. He could have separated his shoulder. He could have done anything. If that was me, my shoulder would have been gone. I wouldn't even have a shoulder.
Then he did a power bomb spot too, right? Like right after that onto the concrete.
Yeah. That's the hardest part.
That legitimately is the hardest part.
Yes.
Legit.
He's tearing up the ring mats on the side. Another thing he did was he used Darby Allin to break the count. He grabbed him and threw him in the ring.
Yeah.
And pulled him back out. I thought that was pretty funny.
The finish was great too. Loved the finish.
One more thing that happened in the match. Joe threw him. Was it in the ring? He threw him, I think, from in the ring, and he bounced off the corner post and did like Olympic worthy twirl off of the post and over to like the timekeepers area. Did you catch that? It was
Definitely has a future
twirlrific.
in the some gymnastics or something.
Yes. Oh
The
yes.
human javelin.
Yeah, it's exactly what he is. And nobody sells like Darby Allin. He's
If
such a good seller.
I've said it once. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. If Darby Allin is selling, I'm buying.
That's right. That's right.
100% on
Two
that.
of them. I'm buying two of them.
Yes. One I'll
So
open.
yeah,
One I'll never open.
the finish was a coffin drop into a long sleep, and then for his troubles, he got muscle bustered onto his skateboard chucks. So
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah,
That's the way to do it. You
I don't
know.
know how that can't hurt. Those chucks went straight up into the small of his back.
Mm.
I mean, I watched those
Well,
chucks go right up in there.
you got to
Ugh.
live with some semblance of pain.
Oh yeah.
You know. But yeah, then we get another video of
Oh, don't forget the over the hill Wardlow came
oh
out.
yeah. Wardlow hits the
Yep,
ring.
it's over. Wardlow's over it, and not the good over.
No.
He's over. He's burnt out. Sorry, Wardlow.
You
That
think
match was 10-24, by the way.
you think so? You think the
Yeah,
momentum's done? You think
yeah.
people aren't
I think
caring
Wardlow's
anymore?
over. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we fizzled off Wardlow.
That's a tough scene.
Yeah, we
Well,
Wardlow. We hardly knew thee.
I think
So
that's
yeah,
why
my boy.
we're trying to get the copious amounts of heat on Joe as to try to give him something, but we'll see. Yes, no, actually, before the video package, there's a pre-tape, well, whatever, a backstage thing with Orange Cassidy, Kip Sabian. It turns into a thing. Cassidy's just kind of like, what you got to do if you want it. Just ask or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm injured. So,
So
Orange
who's his
Cassidy told
friend?
him to pick somebody. I
Is he
don't
going
know.
to an old friend?
Who are Kip Sabian's friends? I have no idea. You tell me.
His old friend was Miro. He's the one who brought
Ooh,
Miro in, but then they had a falling out.
okay.
But Miro was his very first thing in AEW was Kip's best man.
Oh, all right.
So, yep, could be Miro.
That's interesting. Could be. All right.
Could be.
I don't have any kind of, you know what I mean? I don't have any frame of reference here. I'm like a child that wanders into the middle of a movie.
Oh, it was this next match that I saw the sign that I thought was funny.
So we get a video for Jericho, Claudio.
Ooh, that was a good video. I didn't write that down here,
Another
but
good
that was a good
video.
video.
Then we get tag team match, Claudio and Yuta.
With Mox.
Against Garcia and Hager with Sammy Guevara.
With a very much hated man. And sadly, he put his vlog on hiatus as of 2 weeks ago.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, he said he's got to work on himself for a little bit.
Oh
I
boy,
get it.
that's never a good thing.
No, I get it.
It
People
doesn't
hate him, and it sucks. But
it doesn't make me
it,
look forward to watching him wrestle or anything.
yeah, well, he's a good wrestler.
Right. But it
And
just
on his last vlog, he was like, he was saying how cool it was to do that last match and he was talking about how different people were telling him how he wasn't worthy to be in that match, and he goes, "You know what? I just showed you how worthy I was to be in that match with Claudio and Jericho and Danielson." And he's basically showing like, "Look at this fatty bruise I have on my side. I'm worthy to be in that match. Look at the things I did to these guys. I was worthy, basically." And he goes, "But me and Ty, we're just gonna, do our wrestling. We're gonna just do our schedule. We don't really have time or patience to film all these vlog segments and whatnot. So we're just gonna enjoy life and not do these vlogs for a little while." And I was like, "Shit, all right. Well, there you go. All we got now is BTE."
Social media just sucks, man.
Yeah,
Especially any
yeah,
kind of like higher profile stuff. It's just, yeah, when you're doing content, it's a jungle out there. One of
yeah.
Pro Wrestling Planet's, the best video we have on the channel, the 100 gimmicks video. I ended up just disabling the comments on it because it just ended up becoming like just a complete cesspool of
Oh wow.
just people just kind of like going back and forth, and there was just also just like just really unfair criticisms, um, as well. It was just bad.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
So it was just like it was just one of those things where I just got sick of reading them. It was
That's
just like
unfortunate.
there's too many comments, so I probably crippled myself, by doing that, but cut off my own nose to spite my face, basically, is where I was going with that. So yeah, we had this tag team match. Um, BCC goes over. This was your basic deal, the Jazz basically controlled the thing. They did the hot comeback, after the commercial break. Kind of your
Claudio
typical.
teased the purple hat. That was a good spot. You see that
Yes.
he teased the purple hat, and then he did like the biggest, hugest football punt, and then it went like 50% towards the front row. It didn't even go in the audience. I thought that was so funny. He kicked it so hard, kicked that hat so hard, and it just like flew up and then just dropped right at ringside.
Gallagher even mentioned on commentary that they used to be in a tag team together, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. There was a horrible botched super hurricanrana that looked really bad that Claudio did on Hager. Um, the finish was very disappointing for me. Uh, it was what was it? They had them in sharpshooters, I think it was, and they came in and Claudio won with an uppercut to Hager,
Right.
and this is when I saw the sign. There was it said Julia's hat and Hager's hat, and there's a sign that pointed towards Julia's hat. Basically, Julia's hat is greater than Hager's hat. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Uh, yeah, that match went 12:36. By the way, I didn't write much there except for botched super hurricanrana and uppercut to win. I didn't like it.
It was okay.
The match was good.
It was a
The ending
match.
was not good.
There was, it wasn't perfect, but it is what it is. But it was just more of this Jazz BCC stuff, and like we have covered ad nauseum. We're all just kind of ready for this to be done with. Speaking of Julia Hart, that was the next thing we
Yeah,
got. House of Black video.
always good.
this was basically an open challenge. So I wonder who are we going to get? Like a 6-man? What, it said anyone can challenge them. So who challenges them, Vito?
Probably like the factory or something.
The factory. Please.
Excuse me.
You know,
Um, no, I mean it's their first match back. They haven't had a match yet. I'm sure it's gonna be like the factory or something like that. No one's gonna be huge. No one's gonna step up and beat the House of Black. It was a cool promo though. You know, Mr. Matthews, this Black. You know, it was cool. He brought them all up, had them say their thing. I liked it.
they're obviously the next in line. So they just kind of have to hold them over, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you're looking at the trios division,
yeah. And they beat up the factory one time.
you know.
So
So we need to
now,
build someone else though, other than the House of Black, to really make this a division. That's pretty much the only 4 trios I can name are, you know, the 2 that are in the feud, House of Black, Best Friends. Who else do you got?
we got the Truth Busters. Is that the name? Dude Busters? What are they
Right.
called?
Well, no one cares about them.
Well, they're a trio.
Right.
And then we got uh I was gonna use their name later on, but we're talking about them right now. TNA 2006. They're a trio.
Technically, yes. Okay.
So you know, Stokely's has a group. Uh the Rouge Family Office. I mean, there's trios around. Gotta dig deep.
There's some thrown together stuff, but we need
Yeah.
another like serious team. Someone that can
Okay.
actually pose a threat.
All right. We'll have to look into that and
The
chat about that.
the Roosh thing sounds good. I
Yeah.
like that.
Um. There's before we go on to the next segment of Dynamite, we have to talk about a commercial.
Oh, okay.
Did you see the commercial that was after this House of Black segment?
I did not.
It's a reality TV show made by Dana White.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Tell me you missed this. They
I
had it a couple
saw
different
I
times.
saw Dana White. You know, and
And you missed the, oh my goodness.
I guess I
Brand,
wasn't paying attention.
he says this is almost word for word because I watched the commercial a couple times. Dana White says, "I'm bringing you the newest thing in combat sports. It's called the Power Slap Championship. Okay, it's coming to TBS." And the videos they were showing was just chalking up your hand and just slapping the shit out of each other. It was amazing looking. Okay. And then at the end of the commercial, they say something along the lines of they all live together and compete together. And I'm like, hold on a second. This is a reality TV show? So now I'm picturing like the real world where they're all like sitting in the living room together, just like slapping each other. I'm I'm 100% into this show. I will be recording it, and if it's after Dynamite, I know we do this after you watch Dynamite. I watch Dynamite hours before you do. I might be doing a little spoiler review into Dynamite while I do that.
I am
So
baffled.
look forward to that in the future. That there might be some talk of
Okay.
what's it called? Power Slap Championships.
That's our future, apparently, is reviewing these
Yep.
power slap events
No, I'm
put
just gonna
together.
give it like a rating. I'm gonna watch the first show and give it a rating on here. Oh man.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah, I don't know
my
if I'll I
question
don't know
to
if I'll
you,
catch that one.
my
Listen,
question to you is, um, would you like to join me as my tag team partner in the Power Slap Championship?
there's tag teams.
No, there isn't. I'm just messing with you.
Okay. If there isn't, damn it, there should
Um,
be. There freaking should
dude,
be.
I couldn't believe that. That is not my thing. I am not gonna just get slapped the shit out of all the time. That is so weird to me. Anyway, yeah, just had to bring that out there.
All right. Well,
Oh shit, we skipped the thing before the House of Black Open challenge.
how? Oh yeah. Let's not gloss over this awkward.
No, very awkward.
So
So
Moxley's there with him, right? And then
yeah,
someone says, I mean,
Shivani's in the ring.
yeah. And he's like, check out this thing I filmed a couple weeks ago. And it's him with
So you
Regal.
so you know those things in movies where it's like, uh, everyone gather, and we need the family of Ebenezer Johnson to come here in this room. Gather around, kids. Your great grandfather, your uncle, your dad. He said if he ever died, you all have to sit down here and watch this
Right,
video.
right.
And they turn it
Yes,
on, and he's like, I'm dead, and you're all sitting here watching this TV. That's how I felt in this.
right.
I'm like, is Regal dead?
What is going on?
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable. So, so let's just sum this up now. Mox is the leader. Yuta's still a little bitch that they got to take care of, like feed him by hand. I don't know what that's about. And Mox put an open challenge out, which spoilers, it's your guy, Takeshita. We find that out later. I just
Take
want to put this in
shita.
the Takeshita. I just want to put that in perspective. This is where we're out of this video. So Regal is BCC for life until death. That's where I gathered, for life till death. And Mox is facing Takeshita. And now we're good with the BCC. Still together, still called the BCC, because Mox doesn't care what we're called. And he still wants to fight Cowboys. Okay, we're clear. You got anything, Nad?
Just I thought it was strange.
Oh my goodness,
I
it
just
was
thought it
so
was weird.
strange.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me because it's like, okay, well, until MJF turned on you, this all wasn't your plan. You know what I mean? Like, or was it? You know, he didn't really get a chance to really say, I guess, before everything all happened. I don't know, man. Just weird.
Well,
This whole thing was weird.
he filmed it right after he turned on him, and then he filmed it in case something happened to him. So it's like he basically knew MJF was going to turn on him because he's just like him. So he's like, this is why I turned on you, just in case MJF killed me. So is
How
that the last time
convenient.
we're going to see William Regal? What do you think?
Could be, but you just said, you know, through the holidays, right? He could be.
Yeah, well, that's what
Oh,
one of the websites said. Then maybe that was Tony. I don't know what that was. So we'll never know.
seemed to me like it was pretty imminent, but either way, then we do a Jamie Hayter sit down with Shivani.
Which
This was
was
neat.
it was weird.
You know, it was fine. I'm glad that they actually had her do something that wasn't interrupted by, you know, Baker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, it was what it was. And that bled right into this 6 women tag match with Jade Cargill and the Baddies. against Sky Blue, Madison Rain, Kiera Hogan, who was just recently ousted from the group. So that's kind of
Yeah.
the setting for this. And,
Yeah, they caused her to completely redo her hair. Kiera Hogan had the completely redoed hair. Redoed? She, her
which
hair
is,
was redoed.
it's not easy.
Oh man. No, her hair is usually it was black with like a blue little streak in it or whatever it was. And that was completely red and curly and everything.
Depending
So
on what color you're going for, it's not.
yeah, good for you,
Uh,
Kiera Hogan, for reinventing yourself after not being a baddie. Now you're a goodie. So good for you, Kiera Hogan.
a lot of this was during commercial time,
Yeah, I hate
it
that.
seemed like. But the parts that they did focus on looked really good.
Do you miss
Uh,
Velvet Sky and the beautiful people? Every time I see Madison Rain, I always think Velvet Sky.
for sure. Why
I was
not?
a fan. I was a fan of the beautiful people.
By that time I was kind of checked out on TNA for the most part, but
That's about when I was watching it.
see, there you go. I was an
Yeah.
early TNAer. I was like a Fox Sports when it was on Fox Sports back in the day. And even before that, before they even had a TV deal, the weekly pay-per-views.
Oh yeah.
Man, those were fun. Those were really fun. Hell yeah, because then it was like, okay, well I can order 2 of these a month for like $20 or whatever. You know what I mean? I could have a wrestling or whatever. I can have a wrestling show basically every week instead of just the one WWE pay-per-view, I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
whole other thing. And
Red Velvet pulled the Nikki Cross apron trick on Velvet Sky or on Sky Blue.
Red Velvet, Velvet
Yeah.
Sky.
Yep. Red Velvet, Sky Blue. Yeah, she pulled the apron skirting out, and Sky Blue fell in it, and
Yes, I
she
loved
was
that
hitting her.
spot.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Nikki Cross does that in every match. I like that. Always been a
Oh,
fan.
she stole that from Nikki Cross for real? I
Yeah.
didn't put that together. Okay.
I wouldn't say steal. I just say Nikki Cross does
Right,
that spot.
cuz who really
Yeah.
steals?
But
Um Mike
Jade,
Mike Modest. Before you get into that, Vito, Mike Modest, uh who was one of my second or third interviews I ever did. Old on the first podcast I ever did back in like 2008, I want to say 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. I asked him about his finisher and where he came up with it. And it seemed like so ridiculous. His answer was just kind of like, well, I stole it off of, I saw it on like a Japanese tape or something. And he's like, for the most part, no one, really has came up with the move that they're using. Someone has done it before at some time or another. He's like, to think that you have ownership of any wrestling move, he's like, just the concept of that is just ridiculous.
yeah,
He's just like, it makes no sense at all. Someone did it before, and it'll continue to get moved on and pushed and so forth. And so that
yeah.
always just, it blew my mind, 14 years
Well,
ago hearing that.
nowadays it's like if someone recently used it famously, it's common courtesy to like send them a DM on Twitter and be like, "Hey, do you mind if I start using this?" Like the Usos uh, asked Devon because he's a producer there, and then they also sent a message to Bully Ray to use the 1D, so they got clearance to use that move.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Yeah, there's a couple things that I've heard
Interesting.
recently of people too. Yeah, so I don't know. That just food for thought in what you were just saying. There's been, and I've heard a couple instances of that.
There is, there is a weird, not necessarily weird, but there is a hierarchy also to a degree. Um, Bubba Ray just kind of seems like a guy that would get bothered by that sort of
Oh,
thing.
he stands on ceremony a lot. He's
Yeah,
very big on the respect in wrestling.
right. Which, fair enough. I mean, he definitely, came up through that time, and that's how he was taught. And you gotta respect it either way. But you know, Jade and company, they get the big win here.
Yep,
You were gonna say
804.
something about I cut you off though. What were you in the middle of?
Jade, she's untouchable, but
She is.
the camera was doing some camera work after the match. Did you notice what it was doing?
I did not.
It was showing red. She had some looks on her face.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Did you
her
see that?
and yeah, and the other baddie, right? They were kind of
I
exchanging some
didn't
glances.
I didn't see much about the other baddie. I just saw that the camera went to Red Velvet a lot. Maybe like 3 or 4 times, and all every time she had a look on her face, I was like, it almost looked to me like, oh, that title's mine, you unbeatable hooch.
Right,
I don't
and
know if she would call her hooch or not, but
and Jade was keeping her eye on her
yeah,
as well. She like kind
yeah.
of had her
So,
head on a swivel, like you gonna you gonna
so,
you gonna turn on me, bitch.
so we have this conversation every time, like who can touch Jade? Nobody.
I wouldn't. You just can't mess with it right now. You don't have anybody that's over, and I mean, you could make the argument of like I could see that, right? Like I can definitely see the argument of making someone like that do the Santino Morella type deal where you come out of the crowd your first match and you win a belt, right?
Yeah.
It's
The
kind of
only
like
thing
that.
I've been saying is, wait till Statlander's back and have her take it.
Okay, that could work.
That's the only thing I've been saying, but she's just gonna keep squashing people until Statlander gets back.
Someone that you want to put the rocket under, whoever is ready for that, whoever you want to have do that. I don't know who that would be right now, but to
Hi,
me,
Mello. Oh,
geez, uh, Ruby Riot, but probably
Soho.
not. Oh yeah, that's right, Ruby Soho, but probably not. I don't know, man. You really, I don't know. I don't know who is believable. I mean, unless it's one of the already main eventers, I don't really buy anybody doing it.
Nope. Nope. The only one I really buy is Statlander, and she's off hurt again. So I think when she gets back is when she'll take it. So that's it.
We get
This next segment had me going, Brandon. Brand, brand to brand.
Shivani with Saraya, Britt Baker.
Why'd Britt Baker buy Saraya a plane ticket?
Is this some kind of inside joke?
I don't know,
I think it's
but
some kind of
I
internet thing that we don't know.
really.
I don't know.
Right. She
That's
bought
my
her a plane
best
ticket.
guess. I don't know why she would need to buy her a plane ticket,
She can afford her own plane ticket.
right? Tony Khan
I don't.
buys the plane tickets. Why is Britt Baker giving her the plane ticket and telling her to
I
get
don't
in it?
know, man. And she says, "Oh, let's go be in the ring together." Oh no, 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 no! Can't do
No,
that.
no, not a rematch. It's going to be a tag team match.
So
I'm going to bring
who?
Hater.
Who do you think's going to be her tag team partner? And it can't be Renee.
Ruby.
She's busy.
I'll finish up that crap with Tay Mello and get it out of the way. This is happening in like January, right? This match?
No, it's next Wednesday.
Oh, it's next week?
Yeah.
I thought she said something about like the January 1st edition of Dynamite. I was like, why are they doing this angle for a
Am I
match
wrong?
3 weeks
Really?
from now?
I thought she just said next week.
Her and Jamie Hayter. Yes, okay. Baker gave Saraya tickets to the Kia Forum for the January 12th edition of Dynamite. So this match is happening a month from now, dude. Isn't that weird?
What?
Yes. A month from now.
Oh, that changes things. Oh. Hold on a second.
So why so long? I guess because Saraya can only have one match every 2 months is the deal, or something like that. She needs 2 months.
So she's not going to wrestle at all in between there? Wow. Okay.
I don't think she would. I mean,
I'll keep looking out at dark and see if I see her.
that's just my gut feeling.
Wow.
But it seems to me like that's why they did this and put
I
it
guess
so
I
far
didn't
out.
catch that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was strange.
Okay,
but do you have any predictions? I mean, I don't know.
I
think
don't
her
know
and Ruby
now.
would be a cool team.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Ruby Soho. Wow.
Two former,
That's over a month away.
or maybe Tony Storm. Maybe we're
Well, I guess we have
it.
plenty of time to talk about it.
Right, exactly.
And we'll get back to it next week, folks. Let's talk about it next week.
We'll see if there's more, more hints. But
all right,
it's time for the main event. Did I do a good Mark Henry impression? Good enough.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at your smile. Do it again.
It's time for the main event.
No, okay, yeah, there you go. I think there's been enough talk.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I actually wrote down a couple lyrics of the rap tonight. Usually I don't.
I thought it was kind of a weak rap this week, to be honest.
Well, I realized
recap it for me.
I was thinking that they weren't going to go very hard on FTR because they're friendly with FTR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew they weren't going to be like, "Your mama smokes crack. Your daddy is an asshole." You know?
Right.
That's what I would have said. No. They said 2 lines I thought were funny. They said FTR stands for Find the Remote.
Yeah. That
was funny.
Yeah.
And they also said that they were going to lose like Herschel Walker did. So, thought that was funny too. Those are really the 2 punchlines that they had.
I would have said something about Dax looking like he's in the Village People or something, but
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's borderline.
Yeah, so I thought Find the Remote for FTR was pretty funny.
That was perfect.
But
that's the thing, though. It's not Find the Remote.
No.
Not boring at all. These guys had a kick-ass match.
FTR versus the Acclaim with TNA 2006 watching in the back.
This is worth going back and watching.
Yes.
I can't do it justice really talking about it, but, it was a face versus face type match.
I was wishing that Daddy S would have went back in the locker room.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was a face versus face match, I thought it would have been more honorable amongst the two if Daddy Ass would have went back there. But after watching the match, he didn't interrupt at all. There was no uh, distraction or anything like that from him. So I was okay with it.
He was just there for support.
Yeah. And they did good sharpshooters. I wonder if Tony Khan had like a class. It's like, okay, everybody, start doing sharpshooters. Okay, good. Nope, lift it, sit back. Okay, good, good. Nope, come on, tie those legs. Okay, now your partners switch
He brought Brett
because,
in.
yeah,
You can't be on
yeah,
TV, but you can go ahead and do this.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, FTR played some good heel bits.
did they do a little? Yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
was kind
yeah,
of
they did.
borderline.
Yeah, they played if they played the heel parts of the match. You know, they mocked the scissor a couple times. They pulled the ring apron up and did the um uh slingshot thing, or what's it called, catapult thing, did where up underneath the ring. That was kind of heelish.
So they did get a
You know,
little
they
dirty.
did. Yeah.
Got their
So,
hands dirty a little.
yep, I thought that was interesting. I thought it was real cool. They said twice actually that FTR has had a great year this year, and they've wrestled in London, Mexico, and Japan this year, and all over America apparently. And there
Well,
was an FTR chant in the middle of all the scissor chants. So
this, I mean, what else? There's really nothing else you can ask for
no,
with this match. It served its purpose.
yes,
It was awesome. Uh, Now the ending. What did you think about that?
all the action that was going up to the end. You know where they're getting ready to do their finishers, all that stuff, all that quick action they were doing. I thought that was fun. It had me on the edge of my seat. Um, the finish was it was good, and it was a smart finish. It was a smart finish because it made FTR look good and Acclaim look good because they're all champions. They all need to stay champions. Acclaim goes over and they keep their AEW titles. FTR still what, triple champions, right? Ring of Honor,
Yeah, ROH, AAA,
ROH, and NJP.
IWGP.
Yeah. So yeah, so they both look good, and they both did a big old scissor at the end. But then here's where we got to have a conversation.
Well, you get a roll up finish, which is important.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. The roll up
Yeah,
finish is what makes them both still look good.
right.
It
They
doesn't put no one down.
You put them over without it being cheap, but also with it being not 100% convincing. It's a brilliant. I think it needs to be used more, really, in wrestling because it's not a cheap finish, but it also is like you can make the argument, that you just got lucky. You know.
Yeah, and the match went 16:48.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and Simon Miller would say that ended with the world's most dangerous or world's most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. So it's a surprise roll up. But um, so after the match is when the Ass Boys came out on the screen.
Right. Who else? I mean, who's been beaten more by that move? But yes, uh, just to wrap that part up. But yes, we get
Xavier
the.
Woods made it his finisher for a short time.
See, there you go.
Anyway,
We get the Ass Boys. They mocked the idea that, fans thought that we were going to interfere in this match, but we didn't even need to do that. You guys are losers.
Yeah.
Then
And I just want to point out that I was wrong. And I'm happy to be wrong. This is the first time I'm actually happy to be wrong, and I'm going to go out on record and I'm going to say I was wrong. FTR is not facing the Ass Boys at Final Battle for their ROH titles, okay?
Nope.
They are not.
They pull out a Christmas card written in blood from the Briscoes.
Them
saying
boys.
That they'll see him at Final Battle. Since they're not allowed to appear on Turner Television.
Yeah.
Because Tony Khan's afraid that he's going to get canceled if they do. But he'll still put him on the Ring of Honor show because that's low profile.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but whatever, Whatever.
So let me ask you a question.
I don't care. Okay.
About my question?
No.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen a double dog collar match?
Yes, absolutely.
I've never seen one. I gotta look this up.
Go to, I want to say, Swami says.
Come on, Swami.
WCW, uncensored, 1996. It was either uncensored or Super Brawl, and I believe it was in 96. And I want to say it was the Nasty Boys and Public Enemy. That's the one that sticks out to me, yes.
Oh, I'm going to find that one and watch it. Those are two of my favorites.
And I think they did it in ECW a few times that I remember.
I'm definitely going to watch that.
I know for sure that they did a double dog collar Texas Tornado match that I want to say was, I think it was Nasty Boys and Public Enemy.
I'm going to look that up when we get off here.
In WCW. Uncensored 96. Yes, and it was great. That sticks out in my mind, but yes. So yeah, basically what I would understand is it would be just kind of like two guys in a dog collar, just rummaging around. No, okay, so it was not Uncensored 96. Let's see here. Was it Super Brawl? This is where they fought to a no contest. This was a street fight. Come on, man. It was in here somewhere. I know it. Spring Stampede, maybe. No, they weren't doing that. Slamboree. I gotta look into this. I'm apparently off. Maybe it was the next year. That's the last thing I'll check before I waste.
Bash at the Beach 96.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was 96.
Wow. That's a hell of a pay-per-view to do that at.
Yeah. The famous Hogan heel turn show. So there you go. There's some extra watching, some extra homework.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching that for sure.
To prepare to see that match. I don't know if I'm going to catch this Final Battle show. I would like to. I'm semi-interested in it. Don't think I'm going to spend $50 on it, but if I can find any other way to watch it, I will.
And the Public Enemy and the Pitbulls had one in ECW.
See, there you go.
I'm not getting a year or a match. Anyway, I'll be looking into that.
That would have had to have been probably 95.
Yeah.
Because Public Enemy came to WCW in like late 95, I think. Or it had to have been 94 or 95. Which is an era of tag teams that I really, really loved. All those ECW tag teams. You talk about Public Enemy Gangstas,
Yeah.
the Pit Bulls, the Eliminators, especially.
FBI. Yeah.
FBI, yeah, throw them in there as well. Uh, I just thought they always had cool teams.
So, you want to run down this card real quick? There's only 7 matches as of right now.
Let's do it.
All
We're
right.
going to make some predictions.
Yeah, let's do this. FTR versus the Briscoes in a double dog collar match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. FTR is keeping it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
I mean,
just
it's going to be a hellacious match, but
I can't see it working any other way.
okay, so we got Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy, which is Brian Cage and Bishop Khan and Toa Leona for the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championships.
After
Who
Brian
do you,
Cage botched his rope spot tonight, I'm going to say the Dalton
yeah,
Castle goes over, but who
Dalton Castle
knows?
and the Boys. All right, so we got Swerve and Glory versus Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and JD Griffey.
JD King Griffey Jr. Um,
And that's the only non-title match we got for that show.
Seems kind of random that we get Shane Taylor out of
I'm
nowhere.
going with Shane Taylor Promotions on this one.
Okay.
I don't think Swerve and Glory wins this
This will
match.
be another thing driving the breakup, possibly.
Yep. So then we got Samoa
Yeah.
Joe and Juice for the World Television Championship.
This is very interesting that they're doing this, considering that we haven't seen Juice Robinson at all.
I
All
know.
the stuff Samoa Joe's been doing on TV, not one mention of Juice Robinson and this whole thing until tonight. So this
Well,
makes
they
me think
mentioned him
that
last week, I think,
this makes
didn't
me
they?
think he has no chance.
Oh no, they mentioned it on Rampage. Yeah.
See, so
Nope.
it doesn't count,
Sam-
damn it.
Samoa Joe for the win. Then
Okay.
we got Mercedes Martinez versus Athena for the ROH Women's World Championship.
Um, I mean, I guess you could put it on Athena. I'd be fine with that. She's a little higher profile.
Yeah,
You could center that Ring of Honor women's division around her.
I could see that.
No disrespect to Mercedes is cool, but I
I
think
can see
Athena's a
that.
bigger star.
All right, I'll go with you on that. Athena wins that. I like that. Now we got the Pure Championship. Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta.
I don't know. I guess the face is. I'm gonna go with Wheeler because I think Jericho wins the title match.
All
What do
right,
you think?
I'm gonna go with I think Garcia and Jericho are both winning.
Really? Think
Yeah.
it's a heel sweep?
Yep. Well, yeah.
Okay.
No, because Dalton Castle and the boys, and then FTR. So at top of the card, heel sweep. Yeah. So that's the predictions for that.
And next week on Dynamite, double main event. We got the title match and we got the trios match. So kind of regardless of anything, we kind of know it's going to be an awesome show. Unless they cheese us out in the world title match somehow, but I don't think they will.
No,
We shall
they're not
see.
cheesers.
What are we rating this one, Vito?
Oh, ratings.
You got a rating on
I
this?
enjoyed this show. I didn't have a lull moment. I didn't even start to fall asleep. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Well, Battle Royal being what it was, that was okay. That was a good promo. Joe and Darby was good. The tag match, the stuff in the middle was not great, but it was almost like bookends. If you're looking at Joe and Darby and then the tag team match, I don't know, I'm a little bit lower on it. I'm going to go 3.75.
I like it. I like it.
What can you do? What can you do besides scissor it?
Scissor me.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time around the sun, or next week, whatever, however many
Yeah,
hours it
7
is.
suns, 7 moons.
7 suns and 7 moons from now, we will be back with some more Dynamite talk. Until then, this has been the Pro Wrestling Planet podcast, pwplanet.com, Big Vito T, the brand, and we are out.
Be elite. That's what I'm talking about.